What's up, boyos? Welcome to Loner Spoilercast. It's Star Wars. We're doing Star Wars stuff. We're here. Star Wars. Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, maybe formerly Revenge of the Jedi. But then Lucas was like, that's a dumb name. Now it's Return of the Jedi. Yeah. So that's a thing. We watched it, and we're talking about it. I'm joined by Nick.
Wow.
Wow.
Hello.
Nick.
Fucking Jesus.
What an intro, right?
Wow.
I don't think it gets much better than that.
That's probably the best one I've heard yet.
I think so. We run it fast and loose over on the spoiler cast.
Yeah, we sure do, don't we? I figured you'd pick it up after like the fifth one, but you have not.
I don't know.
We're at 9. We're at 9 right now, and you're still like swinging from the hip. That's fine. I enjoy it.
I did a podcast with our friend Corey called the Jake and Corey podcast for like 2 years. I never knew how to. I never knew how to do an intro. Never did it. That's why with the gaming one we have it written down.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Anyway, Star Wars Episode 6. Nick, what do you think of Star Wars Episode 6?
I liked it. There's some things that I liked about it. There are also some things we have to put out there. This is the Disney Plus one.
Yeah.
And that brings me right into the point that I'm going to make right now. The story, it's okay. Yeah. So oh man, the list that we have is based off the Disney Plus ones. I'm just going to say that because some of the edits in this movie ruin parts of the movie. Being number one, that fucking CG. Hey, oh, went to movie. That fucking boo boo doo doo doo.
The Jedi rocks, man. Yeah, Jedi rocks.
God, that song is awful. It completely destroys the feel of Jabba's palace. Just completely. We watched the original. God damn, I can't believe they took it out. It was so well done. I don't understand why they had to change it. Yeah. But holy crap, that's such a bad edit.
There's a minor change at that Jedi Rocks moment that I kind of like. I think the tension at the end when he's pulling the girl is a little bit more when Jabba's pulling the Twi'lek or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think the tension's a little higher, and like it plays really well with like the dissonance between like the really hype music versus her like almost dying is kind of nice, but it's just so fun. I think if they toned it down a smidge, it would have been better. It would have been okay.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't like that fucking guy, like straight up this camera zooms in on his face and he's like, oh, like it's so bad.
It is just
also
so abrasive.
The addition of like seeing her in the pit with the Rancor, I think was a nice add.
It's a good addition.
Yeah, but that scene is fucking terrible, dude. What the hell?
That scene, it almost ruins. So Episode 6 was my favorite movie. If you just took the beginning, if you just went, it's Jabba's palace until they escape and get out of the Sarlacc pit. Super freaking great.
That shit rules.
That scene ruins that whole section for me because it is just so abrasive and in your face, and it just completely throws what it's been setting up off the deep end. And oh boy. Another point, I might get some flack for this, but Ewoks fucking suck. They are awful, and the idea of them is pretty terrible.
I'm gonna say something controversial here, Nick. I'm just gonna come. I think Ewoks have been being shit on. They've been shit on since the 80s. Everyone's been saying it ruins Episode 6. The Ewoks. Episode 4, Episode 5, greatest movies ever. Episode 6 sucks because of Ewoks. I'm done pretending I don't like Ewoks. Okay, I'm done pretending. I love the Ewoks. I love them. I think they add a lot of humor and levity to this movie. I think they're not as campy as I remember them being, honestly. Like, the moments of them dying is like, it's really sad.
Oh yeah,
And
there's
like,
that one, the one scene with one of them dying, and then yeah,
and it's Star Wars. Like, they're aliens. They're alien bears. I'm okay with
right.
it. I'm
That's
okay with
fine
it.
with
I
me.
like it. And I like the
It's
costumes. I
see,
think the costumes are cool.
that's not the part I have an issue with. The part I have an issue with is these Ewoks have set up all of these traps for this very specific encounter. Like, before the encounter even starts, and they are using like sticks to take out fully armored dudes. Ewoks are freaking teddy bears who are afraid of everything. And we see that with Wicket, where Wicket's like, I don't know, I don't like you, I'm gonna hold a stick to you, right? If a stormtrooper, like, we've seen this in history with America, you know, Native Americans hold a stick to them, and then the freaking Englishmen come over and just shoot them in the head with a pistol. Like, I feel like that would happen so quickly in this, and it doesn't. It's just like the Ewoks are way better than stormtroopers.
Counterpoint. Okay, counterpoint. English versus Americans. English were so uniformed that the Americans were able to hide in the trees and kill the English because the English were just so uniform. They weren't used to like that kind of guerrilla warfare.
The guerrilla warfare, right. Yeah, no, I get that. But we've already seen Han Solo dealing with like how stormtroopers are and how they're like,
they're
we've seen like the Normandy of stormtroopers, right? They've been through some shit. But these ones are just like, oh no, these teddy bears are hitting me with sticks. And
I mean, in episode 5, they just sort of wrap a rope around an AT-AT. Like, I think the Empire stuff is just kind of stupid.
Well, it is. AT-AT's design is awful. Unpractical. It's a great design. It's impractical.
And there were other men on the ground. It wasn't just the Ewoks.
Right, but I don't know, man. That whole scene with the Ewoks, and it's like, oh, the Emperor didn't know about the Ewoks. It's like he would have had them eradicated already. They would have put a base down and went, we need to get rid of everything around here, and then fucking killed them all.
But they're tiny. They hide in the ground, dude. You don't know they're there.
They have a whole freaking base in the trees. You cut the trees down. Like, I don't know. If it was, I don't mind that they were a part of the movie. I hate that they were the turning point of the movie. That's where I stand on the Ewoks. It's like, they're fine. They're cute. They're cuddly. They're, I like the part where it's like, oh, they think C-3PO is a god. That's really funny. This movie has a lot of charm in it. It honestly does.
I think C-3PO is really funny in this movie too.
Yeah. But then they're like, oh, holy shit. The Ewoks are going to help us out with this battle. And who knows if these things have ever fought before. It's like, it's hard for me to swallow. It's a hard pill for me to swallow.
It's the Force.
That's not how the Force works.
I don't know, man. Are you gonna trust a fucking Han Solo on how the Force works, dude?
I don't know. He believes it's real.
I love this movie, dude. Yeah, I think like the additions and stuff are pretty. Yeah, I like the ending. I prefer Yub Nub over the song they chose. The the glances to like the different cities. They could have at least made the cities look shitty in the special edition at the end, like the celebration stuff.
Or like chosen the cities a little better, because I don't feel like Tatooine should have been like. Right. Because I feel like the Empire, like, that's the whole thing, is like, it's the outer rim, right? So the Empire, the Republic, they're not paying attention to Tatooine. They might have been, because it's in the outer rim.
They might have been celebrating the death of Jabba the Hutt, though. Who knows?
Oh.
How about that?
Oh, I like that. I like that little headcanon.
How about that?
I like that. You're okay. Sure.
I know, like, realistically on paper, episode 6 is not the best Star Wars movie, right? It's not like writing wise or action wise or anything, but man, it's up there for me. Like it's definitely like one of my favorite Star Wars movies. To me,
It's a good one.
this is like this is like what you think of besides like episode 5 where they're running around Cloud City and stuff, and like, you know, like this is what you think of when you think of Star Wars. Like it's like Luke is finally a Jedi. He's got his green lightsaber. That shit is so sick, dude. The fight between Vader and Luke, Ian McDermott just hamming it up as the Emperor. Just like so dude. Fucking good. And then the Ewok battle, whilst most people don't really like it, I enjoy it. I think it's okay. I think the worst part about this movie is just like it's kind of weirdly paced,
Yeah,
it's kind of weirdly paced movie. It makes sense what it's going for, like the back and forth between the ground battle, the sky battle, and the battle of the minds, I guess you could say, with Luke and the Emperor. I will say though, most of the time I watch this movie, I'm like, I just want to see the Luke stuff. Like every time it goes away, I'm just like, I just want to see what's going on the Death Star.
More of the Luke stuff.
Yeah, like I just want more of that. Like that shit is just, it's so good. It's also like the best lightsaber battle, not in the series, but like of the original trilogy. I think easily best lightsaber battle. It's the first lightsaber battle where you're like, oh shit, they're like actually being physical and like this looks like a real thing.
Well, Luke kind of loses his shit right there at the end, and you're like, you feel it. You feel it, and it's good.
Yeah, that's so and like the opening stuff with Jabba's palace, it's so good, man. All that stuff is good. I love it all. I think like they had a hard time deciding what to do with Han and Leia. You could tell because they're like, okay, we kind of finished their story in 5.
Yeah,
and now it's like, well,
now we gotta bring him back. Yeah.
But to me, like what I love about this movie is like, hey, the first 2 movies are like building up these characters. This movie is like the first one that's like, okay, now they're on their adventure finally. Like the first 2 is like them becoming who they are, and now it's like this feels like the first of like many adventures to come. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
it feels like we know these characters. Now we don't have to explain these characters. You know these characters. Yeah. Let's do something with them. Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely fucking love this movie. I think this might have been the first Star Wars movie I saw, which is probably why I'm a little biased on it. Like, cause it just, it's so ingrained in my brain, it's like probably on TNT or something. And I watched it and like, yeah, it's just so fucking iconic for me. When I was a kid, I loved the Ewoks. So like, they hold a special place in my heart, I guess. I've always loved the green saber. I think the green saber is like the coolest fucking saber. The relationship, like the build of Darth Vader and like the finish of this, like, yeah, the big reveal in 5 is cool, but like the story arc being completed here with Vader is just so cool. Cause like the first 2 movies, like we've said before, he feels like a slasher villain, like he feels like Jason Voorhees. And then for him to just be like kind of have this change of heart in this movie is like, it's so well done. And like, I love it.
Well, they do such a good job with that because you don't know if he's actually going to have a change of heart, until the Emperor's like electrocuting him. It's like at any point when Luke's talking to him on the bridge to the shuttle where he's like, I won't turn. I know there's good in you. And he's like, well, sorry, guy. It's like he could have turned there and it would have been like acceptable, but they've just like, no, we don't. You don't know if he's going to turn or not. You don't know if he's going to be a good guy at the end or not. And they hold it out for so long. And it's just like, is he? And then he starts getting electrocuted and he's like, and once you see his head turn, you're like, he's going to stop this shit. He's going to kill the Emperor right here. And he does just by simply lifting him up, throwing him down. This was super simple.
That's the worst ad, by the way, of the special edition. Is Darth Vader saying, "No"?
Yeah,
so bad. Why?
It is pretty bad.
Why do that? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's fine with him not saying anything. It also makes sense with Luke's expression where he's like, "Wait, what's going on?" You know? Um, man, this movie's so good, but it is definitely not the best. Definitely has a lot of flaws, especially with the special edition re-release of it.
Yeah. Man, I really wish Disney would just release the on special editions or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
just like a 4K version of the unedited versions. Like that'd be so sick.
It
They
doesn't
can do
even
it.
have to be 4K. They could do it standard definition and I'd watch it.
It'd be easy to do 4K though because it was
Mm-hmm.
filmed on film, you know? Like
Yeah.
be easy to
Yeah.
turn that into 4K. God, that'd be so
Yeah.
sick.
It would be so good. You
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
What?
It's hard to even say, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, this movie rules.
It's good. It's a good movie.
I said this to you last night. What I really like about the original trilogy is the first movie is Desert Planet, second movie is Ice Planet, this movie is Forest Planet. I love that, like, we got to explore all these different
Right.
areas and, like, yeah, I love it, and I love the outfits, man. I love the outfits in this one. They're sick.
Oh, the outfits are good, especially Leia's like second one. That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
The second outfit we see Leia in is
yeah,
so good.
of course, yeah, of course.
The first one's pretty good too.
Yeah, I love that reveal too. That's the way they
Yeah.
reveal all the characters at the beginning is so good. It's like, hey,
It all just kind of comes together. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the beginning of this movie is the best Star Wars movie of any Star Wars movie.
I love that it's like,
And then the ending is just kind of like, and I kind of like fall asleep towards the end because I don't know. It kind of did drifts off for a little bit until the very end, and you're like, oh shit's actually happening.
oh, I love I think they do a good job at the end of like interspersing the Vader stuff, which is probably why they decided to do it that way, to keep
Mhm.
you invested, because it's like, this is the best stuff
Yeah.
in the movie
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, because the space stuff is like, you know, the stuff with Lando and stuff in space. I do love that Lando gets his own like sub, like
Mhm.
he's introduced in the last movie and now he gets his own like sub story,
Arc.
like his own
Yeah, his
C
little-
plot, which is nice.
Mhm.
But it is kind of stupid where it's like they have to take down the shield ray on the Death Star. But before they get confirmation that they've taken down the shields, they just show up.
They just show up. They're just
like-
like, hey, we'll show up. Yeah.
They're like, the shields aren't down. It's a trap. It's like, no, you guys didn't wait for the cue. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you guys even there yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that part has always been weird to me. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
It is kind of weird, isn't it?
Just a bit of a plot convenience, I guess. But the intro though, like where it's introducing all of them, I love that it's like they obviously planned like a heist, but they didn't show us the planning phase. You know, I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So then we just get these neat moments of like, oh shit, there's Lando. Oh shit, there's Leia. Oh shit, there's Luke. Like, I love that shit. I think that shit is it's so good. And when Luke shows up, man, in the black outfit and he like force
those
chokes
fucking-
the pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what a dark guy. Can't believe he did that.
I know.
Crazy shit. He
Feeling-
just kills the fucking pig, man.
Feeling the dark side.
Well,
How about some fun facts, huh? How about some fun
let's
facts?
do some fun facts. It took 6 people to work on the full size animatronic of Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
The Emperor's chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Emperor's chair was the Emperor's chair
Yeah.
was mechanized so that it could rotate when the scene called for it. However, the mechanism never worked properly, so Ian McDermott had to make it move by shuffling his feet. A piece of tape on the floor told him when to stop so it would not be visible to the camera. Can you
Fucking
imagine? Just like
Oh man.
that would be so funny just to see like his little feet
I
shuffling around.
I fucking love Ian McDermott in this movie. I think he's so fucking good. He's so fucking good. I love him.
Yeah, he is fantastic.
Richard Marquand, who directed this movie, he wasn't the first choice for this movie, actually. or the second, or even the third. The first choice to direct this movie was Steven Spielberg.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but Steven Spielberg could not direct this movie because George Lucas, of course, famously hated the Directors Guild. So he was not part of it. And because he wasn't part of the guild, he couldn't have someone who was part of the guild, which Steven Spielberg was part of the guild. His second choice was David Cronenberg, which would have been fucking weird, man. Could you imagine if Cronenberg directed this? This movie would have been, Jabba would have been way more grotesque, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been
sure.
cool. And the Sarlacc pit would have been like crazy if Cronenberg directed this. And then the final choice was David Lynch, who did not.
Oh,
yeah,
weird.
which would have been.
All of these very stylized. All of these.
Yeah, they're all like very like artistic, like artisanal guys. Like, yeah. I David Lynch would have been fucking interesting. I wonder what that would have been like. Way more heady movie. Yeah.
Carrie Fisher really cared about Warwick Davis' well-being during filming, as he had to spend it in a hot Ewok costume. She also provided him with cookies and chocolate milk between takes. Davis later commented, "She was everything an 11-year-old Ewok could possibly wish for." Cute.
Despite the credits, Richard Marquand may not have directed all of the movie. George Lucas directed some footage, and Empire Strikes Back director Irvin Kershner once hinted that Marquand's assistant directed footage credited to Marquand due to Marquand's poor relationship with the actors. Interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
The word Ewok is never actually said in Return of the Jedi.
No, sure
and
isn't.
Neither were the names of individual Ewoks, although both appear in the end credits.
Huh. That is weird. That's the only way you can learn what they are. Yeah. According to Ian McDermott, George Lucas originally cast him simply as the physical performance of the Emperor, similar to David Prowse as Darth Vader. This became evident to him when a producer told him that if he was able to get his voice close enough to Clive Revels, who portrayed the Emperor's voice in Star Wars Episode 5, The Emperor Strikes Back, Lucas would let him use his on-camera vocals in the final cut of the movie. However, McDermott felt he could conduct a stronger, more wicked and demonic voice for the Emperor as opposed to Revels' more aristocratic Emperor. Lucas and even Steven Spielberg were so impressed with his take that it ended up becoming a signature trait for the character.
Oh, dude, he's so fucking good.
He does such a good job. They know it because they switched all of the scenes to have him in it.
It's also one of the reasons why I like Episode 3 so much, because Ian McDermott is just so fucking good. Do it. Like, oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
Do it. Both lightsabers used in the movie were repurposed props from earlier movies. Darth Vader's lightsaber was a Luke Skywalker saber from The Empire Strikes Back because all of Vader's had mysteriously disappeared between movies. Luke's new saber was originally one of Obi-Wan Kenobi's from the original Star Wars movie.
Wow. That's cool.
Also, this was always a fun fact. The reason Luke Skywalker's saber is green is because when they were filming, over the Sarlacc pit, it wasn't showing up because of the blue sky. So it was supposed to be blue. And they're like, we can't see it, George. Like, we can't see the thing.
We gotta change something.
And George Lucas went, just make it green.
I imagine that's exactly how that conversation went.
Yeah, I totally do.
Just make it green.
Just make it green. You'll see it then. Just make it green. Yeah. And then we'll just tell him that he made a new one or whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll add a throwaway line to Vader saying, "Oh, you made your own fucking lightsaber. How cool is that?"
Yeah. During the shot in which Salacious Crumb, the little small annoying rat-like thing that sits with Jabba in his palace, is chewing off C-3PO's eye, Anthony Daniels had a panic attack while in the 3PO suit. While filming, he didn't actually say his lines. All of his lines were dubbed in post production anyway, but repeated, get me up, over and over. This is the take used in the final cut. Wow. That's kind of sad.
Huh.
It's like having a panic attack. Oh God, get me up, get me, and nobody's fucking listening. Like, no, this is great. This is great, man.
Yoda was to sit this one out, but he was added after consultation with a child psychologist made George Lucas decide he needed an independent character to confirm Darth Vader's claim that he is Luke Skywalker's father. Now you know why Yoda doesn't do much for the rest of the movie.
I mean, couldn't you just have Ben tell him?
Yeah, like as a Force ghost. Yeah.
Yeah, just like, yeah,
Which
I fucked up.
He also does that.
I know.
Like right after. So.
Nine Nub's Land Nose co-pilot speaks Kenyan dialect called Haya. According to sound designer Ben Burt, the lines were delivered by Kipsang Rotik, a Kenyan student living in the U.S., and are actually correct Haiyan translations of an English text. Audience in Kenya were repeatedly very thrilled to hear their language spoken in proper context. That's cool. It's very Spanish sounding. Like, it sounds very Spanish. I always thought like Nine Nub was like an ode to Mexicans or Spanish people, you know? But I guess it's Kenyan. It's kind of cool.
Adding to the Star Wars movie's accidental misogyny, the few women flying spacecraft for the rebellion were edited out of return for unknown reasons. Wow. It's interesting. Yeah, there really is only one woman in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you've got the Moth.
Yeah, that's true. She's there. She's a thing.
Yeah. She's always looks so concerned. Fake scripts were distributed to some of the cast members that were considered likely to leak information to the media. Some of these phony story elements were indeed leaked, such as Lando being revealed as the last hope for the Jedi mentioned by Obi-Wan and Yoda in Star Wars. Interesting. Weird. Could you imagine if Lando was actually the last hope? I couldn't see it. Anything else?
David Prowse, the unusually tall actor who played Darth Vader throughout the series, didn't film any of the lightsaber battle sequences. Instead, it was just a stunt guy on platform boots. It's a trap, which is arguably the most famous line in the movie, was incredibly not in the screenplay. The line was scripted as "it's a trick," and was later changed post-filming after a test screening because, let's face it, "it's a trick" just doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it sure doesn't. Sure wasn't.
There's so many here, dude. I could keep going, but yeah, we get it.
We get it.
Star Wars, it's the shit.
There's a lot of shit.
Check it out. Now let's rank this bad boy, eh?
Let's do it. Where are you gonna put it, my guy? You're on this one.
All right, let's read them out. Okay, here's our ranking so far. At number 1, we've got Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. At number 2, we've got Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. At number 3, we've got Episode 4, A New Hope. At number 4, we've got Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. At number 5, we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Number 6, we've got Solo, A Star Wars Story. At number 7, Episode 1, Phantom Menace. At number 8, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
It was so disorienting to hear, because you're like, at number 1, Episode 5. At number 3, Episode 4. at number 4, Episode 3. Like, what is going on? It's a lot of numbers going out there, and they're all different.
Yes.
Where would you put it, guy? You're on this one first.
I'd put it at number 2.
Okay. Number 2.
What do you think?
I want to put it at number 3. I don't think it's as good as Rogue One.
I just think it's so iconic, dude. I know you hate me using that word.
And that is the dumbest. That is, yeah.
There ain't nothing iconic about Rogue One, bro.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. You heard me. Oh, Shawnee didn't like that.
Oh, she did not like that. She- no, that wasn't me. That was Shawnee.
Shawnee.
Shawnee. Oh man. Iconic is that's such a cop out for just like, we gotta respect the old tradition stuff.
It's not even
You
that
know?
though. It's not even that. I just really loved it. I love this movie. I don't love Rogue One. I love this movie.
We
I
can put it
already
at
think
number.
Rogue One should be in last place. So I mean,
You're fucking wrong. You're fucking wrong. Uh, we can put it at number. We can put it at number 2. That's fine with me. I'll get you on the next one.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. Do that. Can you put
I'll
it there?
get you on the next one. Yeah, I'll put it there.
Nick's gonna go into this document when I'm sleeping, and he's gonna change it.
And I'm gonna change it all up. Episode 1 is gonna be at the top.
Oh wow. There's no way. There's no way you'd actually think that.
No.
I mean,
So far, I think
because like those movies are also iconic, but like in a different
in
way.
a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 5 is the best one so far.
Yeah.
I think Rogue One is right underneath it though.
Yeah. I
That's
just don't agree. I like personally I would put I put episode 4 above Rogue One as well. But
Ooh.
like that's just me. That's just me.
Ooh, I don't think so.
I love episode 4. I think that movie is
It's good.
really-
it's just
it's really
slow and it's
kind of slow.
it's the first one. Just going back to it, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, we know the basic story.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch episode 7, but like we got a while before we get there actually, because we gotta
We're gonna have to take a couple of weeks off of this just so we can finish some of the TV shows.
Yeah, we got to decide like what's our plan here. How are we doing this?
Well, I think we should try to see what we can do within a week, how far we can get within a week, and based on that, we can judge how we're gonna do these shows.
Yeah, because I think what we should do. I know we've been having this conversation about the Marvel movies, about like what do we do when Loki season 2 comes out? Do we move Loki or do we like add a different thing? I am starting to think we should just label it like Mando season 1, Mando season 2.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
So like we should do 2 spoiler casts for Mando.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I think I could finish Mando in a week or like 2 weeks.
2 weeks probably works out better.
Yeah, so like not next week, but maybe the week after. We'll see where we're at though. Like no rush.
Yeah,
because we could probably get Mando done before like She-Hulk ends, and then do She-Hulk, and then I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Maybe. We got to talk about it. We'll start and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, luckily we're getting on this now before there's like a million shows out, and then we're gonna, which would have just been. It's already.
Oh man,
it already feels kind of brutal because we got to watch 3 seasons of television for this.
Well, we got to watch Mando. We got to watch. We got to watch Book of Boba. We got to watch She-Hulk, and Andor is coming out. So we're gonna be watching 4 shows.
Yeah,
I guess 3 shows at once.
But you know, with She-Hulk and Andor, it's like we're watching a week to week, so it's kind of easier. But
yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's true. You set aside one dinner night for.
But once we're done with these, then we're just kind of watching them as they come out, and we're taking weeks off. It's gonna be like almost like retirement, you know. It's like
if we work our asses off.
We just we just kind of watch the ones when they come out, you know. It's gonna be nice.
Try to remember the last ones we watched and compare it to the last one we watched, you know.
Yeah. I'm fucking excited to watch the sequel trilogy again, though. It's been a fucking minute since I watched them.
Me too. You know, for all the shit that it gets and it deserves, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
In particular.
Well, yeah.
God, I hate episode 8.
Episode 8's B story, you know.
Yeah, it's not
bad.
good.
It's bad. So it's just something. So keep an eye out for those things.
We're doing them.